The Denver metro area has seen a 31% increase in active listings for May of 2024, according to the Denver Post. And we're going to dig into that, find out really what's going on, because it's the beginning of June, and you know what that means. We have updated numbers for what the Denver market is doing for the month of May and what we're doing for the entire year. And we're going to break this down to a few different subset of categories between some single families, some condos, and then multifamily. It's not uncommon for young people to be looking at house hacks, buying duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. But we're going to dig into all the numbers, find out our prices going up, our prices going down, give you a feel on what the biggest investment in your life is actually doing today in our market with no BS and no shock headlines out there. Once again, my name's Alex Saldana. If you're new here, I have been a Denver agent since 2010. I love helping people, answering their questions. If you got any questions, feel free, put a comment below, give me a call, shoot me a text message anytime. I'm here for you. So let's just go dig right into the numbers. I've looked at a couple of them and they're kind of fun, but I haven't looked at all of them. So let's see what in the world is actually going on. Now, I can tell you that there is a feel out there in the market with the election coming up. If you've been following me, you know, hey, during election years, it tends to get a bit soft in the summertime, and summer has already set in. So we're going to start with what everybody wants to know. We'll just skip right to the good stuff. Our prices going up or down? Well, they actually ticked down. So we're looking at the entire Denver metro area here. And in April, our median close price was $583. In May, $580. So we dropped by $3,000, 0.5%. Not a huge deal. But is this normal, right? Is this when we're starting the downtrend? Because these are properties that were closed in May, which means they were under contract in April. So what was last year? Peak last year was June into July. Year before, 2022, was in April, and then it started to decline. Year before that, it was in June and July. So we might be a month or two ahead of schedule. Now, this is just a median price, and if there's one thing we all know is that neighborhoods are not created equally, right? And what I am seeing personally out there is kind of a different feel of houses. The stuff that's at about $1 million plus is actually doing okay. If you're in good condition, if you're in move-in ready condition, you're still getting a lot of activity. I just had one on the market. We had, 12 to 15 showings within the first week to 2 weeks. Easily went under contract. No big deal. There was a lot of competition fighting for that house, right? And then the stuff we've had in the 400 or 500 zone, more of the first-time home buyer here in the Denver metro area, honestly, they're getting beat up a little bit more. Why? Because interest rates affect people that don't have as much on the down payment. If you could afford $1 million home, you might be putting down for $500,000, $600,000 potentially from your first property. You're kind of a move-up buyer, but those first buyers out there struggling to come up with the 3.5% to 5% down even, that market is definitely going a little bit softer. So let's come back here. So I am not too alarmed by this dropping a little bit. We could go flat kind of over the summer months, over the next month or two. Only time will tell. So stay tuned. I will keep you posted. Now, let's break this down into single families, right? So we're looking at single families only right now, which were $630 in April and also $630 in May. So single family housing, kind of flat. Condos, we ticked up a little bit, much lower price point though, right? $365,000 was the median price in April. In May, we jumped up by $5,000. Just a busier time of year. Townhouses, we peaked up quite a bit from $461 to $475, but multifamily, we did slump quite a bit. We went from $469,000 as our median price down to $455. So that's $10,000, $14,000. So several percentage points dropped in multifamily. Now, this is a much smaller subset of the market, so take it with a grain of salt. All right, what is our inventory doing overall? Let's get this bigger for us. So we see the heartbeat, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at a 5-year timeline right now. And we can see in April, we had 9,000 new listings coming to the entire Denver metro area. In May, 10,500. So we notched up by about 1,500 more new listings than the month before. Again, you can make a good headline out of that. Up, inventory up 10, 15%. Sounds like a lot, but is it normal? Yes, completely. Let's look back last couple of years. March, April, May, June seem to have been the peak on new listings. So there's a very good potential that we will get even more listings here in June, and that's when we will peak out. Okay. So we will pay attention to it. Active listings. All right, let's look at this headline. So this headline states that Metro Denver saw a 31% increase in active listings. That number sounds big, right? I mean, a third more. So if there were, 10,000 houses on the market, there'd be 13,000. It sounds scary. But again, is this stuff normal? And the short answer is yes, it absolutely is. I mean, let's look at last year, 2023, we had 12,200 active listings as of May. And in June, we had 13,950. So we went up another 25, 30% in active listings from May to June. From April to May of last year, we went up by 1,100 listings, so about 14%, 13%. So not as much as this year. But I mean, I'm going to zoom this out and look, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a heartbeat. This is the cycle of inventory. It lulls in January and February, and it peaks in June, July, August, and September. Lull in February, peaks in June, July, August, lull, peak. So we're just there. Okay. That's all that it is. Nothing too alarming. Okay. What's the buyer activity like out there? How many properties are going under contract? So on under contract properties, we did tick up, which is a good sign. This is what you want to see this time of year. If we're going down this time of year, then we are not going to be setting new high numbers for median prices. Okay. We want to continue to see there being more closings for the next month or two than the month before. Okay. And then September, October, it'll start trailing down. We want these closings to be happening, ladies and gentlemen. So May 6,600 versus April 6,400. So just a couple hundred more. Closed listings, quite a few more. We went from 5,900 up to almost 6,600. So a good 10% more than in April, which is a good thing. Days in MLS dropped like a rock. We went from 37 days on the market in January all the way down to 10 days on the market so far in April and May. Again, not uncommon for Denver. Month supply. Okay, so this one is where we might be breaking a trend here. So if you are familiar at all with the stock market and how technical analysis kind of works on stocks, there's something called a bottoming effect. Okay. And you can see back here, the beginning of this chart is 2010. So this is kind of the peak of inventory we had from 2008 recession, right? So we had 6, 8, 10 months, almost nine months of inventory in April of 2011. And then from there, the inventory just dropped. And then we started to set in this bottom, which felt like the new normal. And then COVID hit and boom, we had absolutely nothing on the market. And now we're back on this uptrend. And if you draw a line over all of these low months here, we're starting to break out of this trend. So we very well, in the next couple of months, could have 4 months of inventory, which we haven't seen since 2013. Okay. So prices have not sunk like everybody's calling them for. We'll probably see a lull in the market this year, like we do every single year, by about 5 to 10%. Maybe we'll see a little bit more. Maybe we won't. I've been wrong for many years now. I forget trying to predict it. I'm just past that stage. Watch what the market's doing in real time. If you're trying to catch the bottom, you're never going to get it. If you're trying to catch the top to be a seller, you're never going to get it. So just go with the flow, right? Sell when you need to sell, buy when you need to buy, period. But if we break this trend, we might continue to go up. But does real estate react like a stock does? Probably not. It's not nearly as liquid. But just an interesting thing to watch there on the month's supply. And so what the month's supply means, in case you're not familiar, is that, so right now we're at about 3 months of inventory, meaning if no new listings hit the market today, they just stopped. we would go through all the amount of inventory in 3 months. Okay. Everything would be completely sold out. It's kind of the rate of absorption. And that's what that means. A balanced market is 4 to 6 months of inventory. Okay. Where prices are still appreciating a little bit, but not nearly this, 6 to 10% range sort of stuff. Okay. So showings, let's take a look at some showing activity. Showings to pending, meaning how many showings does it take before going under contract? We're at 9. Same way with May. Let's get back here. So again, May to April, same 9 showings until going under contract. Showings per listing is actually down a little bit, down to 5.5 showings per listing per month. Okay. So if you're on the market, it might take you 6 weeks to sell your house if it takes on average 9 showings to go under contract. All averages, all statistics. One of my favorite sayings is figures can't lie, but liars can figure. So every house is going to be different. How you're priced, condition, where you're at. So many variables, you can't just rely on this, but these are the averages out there. So this has been mostly the entire market that we've been looking at. So let's look at the condos in particular. It's definitely a different market. Okay. So our median price again in the condo market in Denver, $370,000. So how many new listings? We have quite a few, 1,300 new listings alone of just condos in the Denver market. And if we zoom this out, we can see over 15 years, like we might break all-time highs of the number of new listings hitting the market. Active listings, we have already broken that trend. So we were just looking at all the inventory on the market for how many active listings there are. We're just looking at condos now, and we haven't had this much condo inventory. So 2,400 active condos on the market since August of 2013. It's been over a decade since we've had that much condo inventory. So if you're going to sell a condo, expect it to sit on the market for a bit. Expect there to be more competition on the sell side. Expect more seller concessions, price drops, things like that. Pending listings ticked down. Okay, this is what we did not want to see in everything overall. The overall market is still up, but condos themselves have lost some appeal. So we've dropped by just 30 in the last month, but still, that's a downtick, which we should be seeing it flat or still going up at this time of year. Number of closed listings is up, which is a good thing, but we need to see that continue to kind of balance out that inventory a little bit. Days in MLS did tick up. So where the overall market was very low, condos, we've just got more inventory. These interest rates, along with HOA fees, are killing a lot of first-time home buyers. They just can't afford it. Okay, so condo inventory sitting around a bit more. Month supply, boom. We are in a balanced market for condos, 3.8 months of inventory for condos. I'm going to say that's as balanced as it gets for a market here in Denver. We haven't had that number again since 2013, 2014 maybe. Nope, 2013. So that's what you're looking at if you own a condo and you're looking to sell right now. Showings to pending, 7 showings on average to go under contract, and the amount of showings per listing is 3.8. So you're on the market for an average of 8 weeks right now, is what that's telling me on the showing traffic. Okay, now that's for condos. So townhouses, we just don't have many. Let me look at all active listings. Woo! Now these are going to include a lot of new builds. So we've got 1,250. Let's actually look at this. I had no idea. I have not seen this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there is something very bizarre looking about this. You're seeing this along with me for the very first time. Okay, so let's go back 2023. And we're looking at 15 years. Let's go back to 5 years. October of 2023, we had 278 active listings on the market. Then we went to 376, 423, 565, 748. Where the heck did all this inventory come from? So I'm going to make one guess here, and that's going to be new builds. Okay. So as construction gets more and more expensive, builders have to build attached units, right? Things like condos, things like townhomes. And I'm going to guess that's what it is. So let's look live and see if we can find a pocket of townhouses that are on the market. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's zoom my map out. Gosh, not really. What the heck is going on? So, I mean, yeah, we have a lot more townhouses in Sloan's Lake and the Highlands and Five Points and North Cap Hill. But these aren't new build communities. These are individual sellers. So one other way we can do this is, so I see 1,252 matches for just townhouses. So if we want to get rid of the new builds, we're going to go everything built 2022 and before. 956. So a third of them almost are new build properties. So let's go everything built after 2022 and see where that falls. It's still just a smattering all around the city here, but that is really interesting. So we'll see if you're of the age where you're downsizing, this might be the time to strike on a townhouse. Let's look at the pending listings. So, but there's a huge amount that have gone under contract. What in the world? So we went from, in 2023, there were 84 that went under contract in 2023 in September. And now we're at 600? What the heck? Closed listings, boom. Skyrocketed. Days in MLS has not gone crazy up. Month supply, 4.7. So I think there's some opportunity in townhouses. This is pretty interesting. Showings depending, 8. Shows per listing, 5.1. So something's not adding up. I'm going to dig into this further and find out what's going on, because our close price is still going up on these things, but the amount of active listings is just through the roof. This is fun. I mean, yeah. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna dig into this, and I'm gonna let you know what in the world is going on with townhouses. So now multifamily. So if you're a younger person looking at a house hack or an investor, or just someone who realizes that it's a smart idea to buy a duplex, live in one side, rent the other side out, because they can cover a good part of your mortgage. What are the numbers? So median sales price, $455. It went down from $469 in April. New listings, there's still nothing on the market, guys. In 2022, we had 1,000 on at this time, and now we've got 200. Multifamily has just dropped off the map, but there's still not a whole lot of interest, it seems. Active listings, way down to 400. Down from, 426 even the months before. But pending, how many have gone under contract? Super low. I don't think we've ever, this is an all-time low. At least back to 2009, we've never closed that few of multifamily. Closed listings, same story, breaking all-time low closings on multifamily. Days in MLS, what in the world's going on here? We had a spike. We were at 98 days on average in March for multifamily, down to 22. So I'm just thinking, with this view of stats, we've got some real funky numbers happening here. Month supply is 1, so nothing there. Showings to go under contract, oh my gosh, 38. 38 showings before you go under contract? And then the showings per listing is 2.4? All right, something's got to be off. There's got to be a glitch in the matrix here, because this makes 0 sense. I really hope it makes 0 sense at least. But I got some new things, ladies and gentlemen, to dig into, because this stuff is fun. So where does that leave you, the potential buyer, the potential seller? Well, if you're on the sell side, now is your friend, right? This time of year is your friend. And I would expect it to be slower though. June, July, into August, summer months hit in. You might get 1 to 2 showings a week, okay? Price it right. Make sure it looks good. If you need a carpet and paint job, let us know. We're offering that to all of our clients right now. We'll pay for it. We get paid out of closing, so it doesn't cost you anything up front. We'll spruce it up a little bit, make another 25 to 50 grand off of doing that. Just let us know, reach out, and we're happy to offer that to you, because you need every advantage right now on your side to get a buyer, right? When you have a buyer, keep that buyer. Inspection comes up and they're wanting 10 grand, 15, 20 grand worth of stuff. You're likely better off giving in, or giving in to most of it at least, versus going back on the market, because you go back on the market and you're probably going to have to do a 2 to 5% price drop to get the next buyer. So you're better off with the devil you know versus the one you don't. Okay. On the buy side, now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, to pull out your hunting gear. Okay. If you're looking for a townhouse, something low maintenance, now's the time to strike. I mean, we just looked at the numbers. There's a lot of townhouses available, which is amazing at good price points. They're showing traffic is going to be down. So offers out there putting out 5-10% below their asking price. If they've been on the market for a couple of months already, knowing we're going into summer and it's going to slow down even more, like, get ready to strike, ladies and gentlemen. It is an election year. We're going to slow down more than we normally do, I believe, just because I pay attention to the market. And it ought to be interesting. I mean, hell, the election has already had some interesting turns, if you know what I mean. So I'm here. Whatever questions you got, call me, text me. And I love putting out these informational videos. If you want to see, if you're thinking about moving here and you want to know the different cities around Denver in a very informational way, check out this playlist, right? I break down active inventory, prices, commute times, things like that. And it'll really help you navigate what's going on in the Denver metro area. And ladies and gentlemen, until the next time, happy housing.